If you feel like reality itself is thinning, like something you used to believe in no longer fits, like conversations sound louder, people feel more transparent, and your tolerance for illusion has quietly vanished, you are not losing your mind. You are perceiving through the veil, and it is disappearing. Not metaphorically, perceptually. And by the end of this video, you will understand why this is happening right now, and what it means for you. Let's speak honestly. You feel different, more sensitive, more aware, more easily overwhelmed by noise, crowds, dishonesty. Things you used to ignore now disturb you. News feels surreal. Small talk feels exhausting. Your old ambitions feel hollow. And part of you wonders, why can't I go back to how I was? You can't, because the structure that allowed you to sleep through reality is dissolving. Carl Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." That's what this is. You're not becoming more spiritual. You're becoming more conscious. And consciousness removes filters. It removes denial. It removes distortion. It removes the comforting blur, which is why it feels destabilizing. The veil disappearing doesn't feel magical at first. It feels disorienting. And here's the part most people won't tell you. The ego interprets awakening as loss of certainty, loss of identity, loss of control. But what if this is not loss? What if it's exposure? The veil is not some mystical curtain in the sky. It is a perceptual construct, a psychological filter, a collective agreement about what is real, and that filter is thinning. Why? Because you are no longer outsourcing your perception. You are seeing directly. Eckhart Tolle said, "Awareness is the greatest agent for change. When awareness increases, distortion cannot survive." You start noticing patterns in people. You sense emotional undercurrents. You see manipulation in systems. You feel truth in your body before words are spoken. That is the veil thinning. But here's what's deeper. The veil disappears in layers. First, you see through external illusions. Then you see through your own, and that second stage is where most people panic. You begin questioning your motivations, your relationships, your career choices, your coping mechanisms. You see where you performed, where you betrayed yourself, where you settled. That's not regression. That's clarity. Ram Dass said, "The quieter you become, the more you can hear. And what you are hearing now is reality without sedation." Pause here. Notice how this resonates. Because your nervous system already knows this is true. Let's address the questions running quietly in your mind. Why now? Because you are stable enough. Awakening does not accelerate until your psyche can tolerate truth. You had to build resilience first. Life experiences, disappointments, successes, failures, all of it strengthened your capacity to perceive without collapsing. You are not awakening early. You are awakening on time. Why does it feel lonely? Because perception shifts faster than social alignment. You may still love the same people, but you no longer share the same filters, and that creates temporary isolation. As Rumi said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you. The loneliness is the wound. The clarity is the light." Am I becoming detached from everything? No. You are detaching from illusion. There is a difference. True detachment is not coldness. It is clean perception without unconscious entanglement. You can love deeply without losing yourself. You can engage without absorbing distortion. This is emotional sovereignty, and yes, it feels unfamiliar at first. Now let's go deeper. The veil is disappearing not just individually, but collectively. Systems are destabilizing, truths are surfacing. Hidden motives are becoming obvious. This isn't random chaos. It is exposure at scale. When enough individuals increase awareness, collective illusions weaken. You are part of that threshold. But here's the paradox. As the veil thins, sensitivity increases. You may feel heightened intuition, vivid dreams, time distortion, emotional waves that don't seem personal. That's because your perception is no longer confined to surface reality. But this does not mean you are meant to withdraw from life. It means you are meant to embody clarity within it. Adyashanti said, "Enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or being happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth." Crumbling feels messy, but what remains after crumbling is real. And here's something most awakening conversations avoid. The veil disappears gradually so you don't fracture. Your psyche regulates the speed. If it feels intense, it's because you're ready for this layer, not because something is wrong. Now I want you to consider something carefully. What if the veil disappearing is not the final stage? What if it is preparation? When illusion dissolves, space opens, and in that space, identity restructures. Purpose clarifies. Alignment becomes non-negotiable. You are not just seeing more. You are becoming more responsible for what you see. And here's the part I asked you to wait for. When the veil disappears fully in one area of your life, a decision becomes unavoidable. You can no longer pretend not to know. That relationship, that career, that pattern, that truth. Clarity demands movement. So if things feel unstable right now, it may not be collapse. It may be initiation. Take a breath. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not alone in this. The veil is disappearing. And you are still standing, which means you are ready for what comes next. And in the next video, we're going to talk about what happens after clarity, when reality begins responding to your new perception in ways you cannot ignore. Stay with me, because this is only the beginning.